Hey guys, so I got asked to do a video on kind of how I would set up my medium Alice pack for basically surviving for roughly around a week without needing to like forage or resupply or really ration food. Obviously assuming you could obtain a source of water, because it's not realistic to carry 10 or 12 gallons of water the field unless you're way more strong than I am. So this is, like I said, it's a medium Alice pack, and I have basically one pouch mounted on the side here. I am going to eventually probably get two 2-quart canteen pouches for this, but for right now, this is kind of how it's set up. Also, a quick stipulation, for this actual application when I'm actually doing it, I use my Mystery Ranch saddle because it's way bigger, and it's a nicer pack overall. But for an Alice pack, this is essentially how I would have it set up. So we'll go over the outer pouches first, and then we'll go into the main compartment. So over here, I have my Nalgene, and the way I have this set up is it's just painted, and then I taped over the the measurements, and I'm using the Life Straw Nalgene adapter, so that way I have automatic filtration. It's not as nice as using a Sawyer Mini. The Life Straw just doesn't last as long as far as like how much it filters, but it's nice because it works with an Nalgene bottle and gives me, like I said, basically thoughtless filtration. And then I have like 3 Cliff Bars in here just to help fill some space out so it's not like sloshing around. And then this is just a stainless steel canteen cup for the Nalgene bottle that I use to boil water, either to purify it or for my mountain house meals. Then down here, or over here I guess, I have, this is kind of my like main source of like no cook, just quick food for on the go. So I've got like some Cliff Blocks, a couple Cliff Bars, some like dried apricot, and then some Noon tablets. And then I have in here as well just my like poop / hygiene kit. So I've got like baby wipes, a toothbrush with toothpaste, mouthwash, foot powder, and hand sanitizer. Then over here I have my tools. So I have my Silky Gone Boy, I have my little SOG like mini e-tool. It's not the greatest, it likes to like lock up if it gets dirty, but it works reasonably well. I have like a roll of duct tape that I've flattened, so that way I don't have, and it's like camouflage, so I don't have like black, or even worse, like neon pink on my like shelter or something if I had to repair it. And then I have paracord. Honestly, I was lazy when I was putting this together, and I just grabbed this because I didn't have to like fish it out of my bag or anything. Then I have my Holtzbrook Annabee hunting axe. This is probably not necessary, but it is nice because you can obviously use it for cutting down trees and bushcraft type things, and also you can use it as a hammer or a weapon, or to put a hole in a wall or whatever, for sort of martial applications. This is a USGI 100 round saw pouch, and right now what I'm using this for is actually basically for all the bolt gun stuff. So here's my like ballistic solving stuff. So I have a calculator that I rattle can. Actually, I have 2 dope books right now. This one's for my 6.5 and the other one's for my 308. And then a Mil-Dot Master. I have this little like real tree ghillie top type thing. So it's tan, which is nice for my environment, but I can use this either to camouflage myself or to camouflage kit if I needed to. It's basically one step below a Viper hood in that you can't like add vegetation to it, but it's got this sort of scrim on it and stuff like that. So and then some camo face paint for if I'm like really LARPing hard. So that's it for the outer pouches. One good modification that I'm going to do once I have my sewing machine up and running is put just regular buckles on here, because these suck, especially since this one wasn't particularly well taken care of, so the straps are a little bit hard to use. Alright, so what you saw fall out there, this is kind of like obviously in the context of like setting up an observation post or generally employing like, you know, a bolt gun or some sort of longer range platform, because that's kind of my niche. This is just kind of double-sided netting, so it's like, you know, woodland on one side and tan on the other. And I'm going to rattle can the tan side a little bit to give it a little bit of pattern. This is, again, because I was too lazy to go fish my actual bandolier out of my bag, but I have 6 magazines here that would, like I said, would actually be in the bandolier. But just to show you, you can carry that. So up top here I have my poncho. It's up top for obvious reasons, so you have quick access to it if it starts raining, or if you just want to get shelter set up quickly. Then I have my like non-emergency first aid kit, so I have stuff like a SAM splint, I have triangle bandages, some super glue for like minor cuts, ace bandages, all that stuff in there. The trauma kit would be kept most likely first line or on a chest rig or plate carrier or whatever. Then I have this is just a dry bag with like a set of thermals and then 2 pairs of like smart wool socks. This is a Gore-Tex sort of jacket. It's not just Gore-Tex, but I'm pretty sure it's Gore-Tex on the outside. It's wind resistant, water resistant, and if I'm moving around, it keeps me warm to about 25 or 30 degrees with just a t-shirt on underneath. So it's got like armpit ventilation. So this will probably be replaced with just Gore-Tex, but for right now this is what I'm using. I have a little jet boil canister. Then I have my mess kit, so this is just a titanium spork. It's a fork on one side and a spoon on the other, as opposed to being just like a spoon with jagged edges, so it works a little bit better. And then I have my little MSR pocket rocket in the case, and then I have a really thin sock around it to keep it from rattling in the case. Then I have my food bag, so I like using this because for one, it keeps my food in one spot and gives me a spot to put my trash. But also, if I'm somewhere where bears are a concern, which happens because I'm in Colorado, I can just throw this up into a tree or whatever and kind of be safe in that regard. Basically what I have in here is I just have 3 Mountain House meals and then peanut butter, tortillas, and oatmeal, instant oatmeal. So that way, all I need to be able to do is boil water, so I can rely wholly on the jet boil. And the Mountain House meals are good for if I want actual food, but as far as just being like compact, quick, and easy, and most practical for like LARP type things, the peanut butter and tortillas is best because you don't have to cook or produce any odor to eat it, and you know, obviously it's instant. Oh, I also have some dried berries in there for either the oatmeal or the peanut butter tortillas. Another thing, so normally in the radio pocket, I would have my 3-liter bladder with the Sawyer Mini inline. 1 liter is not enough for where I'm at, so the Camelback gives me the ability to carry 3 liters of water without taking up much space. And it's not something I have to actually have access to, so I can also use less valuable space, like the rucksack, rather than, you know, a pouch on my plate carrier or something like that. So down here, basically my sleep system is a whoopee that I need to get a compression sack for, and then my Kelty Rambler. This is a 50-degree bag. This combined with the whoopee will keep me warm in a poncho shelter to about 25 degrees. And then if I'm, you know, I'm not going to be below that for like, you know, the summer and kind of early fall that this pack is meant for. But if I am, I can throw on a fleece jacket or the thermal layer that I have or something like that when I'm going to sleep, or use the jet boil trick or something like that. And then down here I also have my Kelty like ultralight steaks. These are pretty good, they're like 12 bucks. But yeah, that's about it as far as the bag goes. The only modification that I've actually done to this pack is I added these straps on the bottom for my sleeping pad that you can see I kind of haphazardly threw on there for the video, but I use a Thermarest Sea Light that I cut down. Yeah, that's about it for the Alice pack. I could pretty comfortably survive out of this for a week. Of course, you know, it would be optimal to have a little bit more space, so I can have things like this like Sawyer drip filter or whatever, and like my fleece jacket, and you know, have more of the Mountain House meals that are nicer to eat and stuff like that. But you can absolutely get by with just a medium Alice pack without even adding any pouches. But you do have all of this real estate to add pouches onto. If you really wanted to, you could throw them on the hip belt. Also, speaking of the hip belt, since I am running just the regular Alice straps, for one I have them duct taped up here, but for two I put the straps back behind the frame, and I just use the kidney pad, and that makes it easier to take off. But yeah, that's about it for the video.